Sean.
Hello, Ellen.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I almost didn't make it, but here I am.
Yeah, here you are. A couple of false starts, and it's just that easy.
Yeah.
We both started out. We're both from New Orleans.
Yes.
And you worked as a DJ?
You probably heard me on the radio. If
I probably did. What radio station were you?
It was WWOM. It was like the first really underground rock and roll station in New Orleans. It wasn't, we didn't have a whole lot of money. And the bathroom was on the 4th floor. So you'd have to leave the booth and go up the elevator to go to relieve yourself.
Uh-huh.
And in those days, records were pretty long. So I put a record on and went upstairs, but I inadvertently locked myself out of the control room. So I go back down after I'm done, and for about a half hour, tried to get back in, and I saw the record, just so the needle sort of go at the end of the record, and for like 20 minutes, it was just you know what? And nobody knew the difference.
No? Well, if that was the 60s, they were probably so high, they thought that was cool.
Absolutely right. They loved it.
They probably started requesting that song.
They asked if there was a live version, And I actually turned the radio station off one day as well because Jimi Hendrix was playing in town, and I didn't think I should be working because Jimi Hendrix is in town. So I told everyone, if you're home listening to the radio, you're an idiot. Go see Jimi Hendrix. So I just switched the radio station off and left.
I don't know. I probably did listen to you. I'm sure I did. Where did you live in New Orleans?
I grew up actually in the 9th Ward, in the center.
Yeah.
I was from a very lower class family, and lived off of Franklin Avenue most of my life. But when I was 17, moved into the French Quarter and lived in the French Quarter until I left New Orleans in '71.
Yeah.
But I bought my mother a house. I mean, Metairie to us, when I was growing up, was the real hinterland.
Yeah.
Right. But when I finally made some money and I had to move my mother out of the old neighborhood because it had, decayed considerably, I bought her a house in Metairie in Pontchartrain Shores, right by the lake. And that's where she lived till she died, and she absolutely loved it there.
Yeah, my grandmother lived in Metairie. I was born in Metairie. Yes,
I know. That's what I saw in the research I did on you. That it was actually.
It's usually the other way around.
I know.
But I love that you researched me.
I called a couple of my friends and got some information and found out that indeed. But I wasn't sure if you stayed there through high school.
I was off and on, and I left when I was 16 and finished high school in Texas.
And so there was a club scene? You started doing stand-up around New Orleans?
No. I came back and there was no club. I didn't really. It's a long story. Let's not talk about me.
But Fat City was starting, right?
Fat City was there. Oh, there was a club scene, but it wasn't a comedy club scene.
Right.
It was a wild, New Orleans, it's mandatory to drink, I think.
I say it's the only town in the world where the signs on the bar say happy hour any waking moment.
Yeah.
It's just... Yeah,
it's wild there. Now, you had some really amazing jobs. You hosted a collectible show also?
Yeah, I'm sort of a pack rat, and some people got wind of that, and they were going to do this show on different kinds of collections, be it art or, everything from lowbrow collecting. One lady had like 4,000 Pez dispensers, and somebody else had, millions of dollars worth of art. So they asked me if I wanted to host it because they knew that I was I had a sort of a penchant toward that. I collect primarily books and pens and cameras. And so I hosted the show because they knew that I did that, and I knew a lot about it.
It's amazing the kind of, you collect pens. I mean, a lot of people collect a lot of different things. There's a magazine, I'm sure you know about this magazine, Pen World, that...
I actually appeared on the cover of this magazine.
Were you on the cover of this?
Cover of it.
Wow. How many do they make of these every month?
Last circulation they had, I think, 300 people that want that every month.
Really? 300 people? That's great. Well,
it's very expensive pens. People you can get very expensive pens.
I'm sure. Look at what I have, a Bic right here. I collect them, too. I've got about 3 of these.
When that is 400 years old, it's going to be worth as much as some of these pens.
Yeah, it's wild. It's amazing what you... Well, you've come a long way, clearly, from disc jockey... where no one even knew you were gone, which is sad, to hosting this, and the show is on Tuesdays and doing well. And
seems that they haven't told me to go home yet, so I'll just keep doing it till they do.
Keep going, and because we miss you. So thank you for coming back to television.
My pleasure,
Thank you for visiting us, Sean.
Bye.
Happy Families airs Tuesdays at 8:30 on NBC.